The Treasury Secretary pulled the CEOs of America's biggest banks into an emergency meeting. Behind closed doors, the threat he was warning them about. Not a country, not a hacker, a single piece of software. And 3 months ago, the company that built it was being called radical left and woke by Donald Trump himself, who then banned the entire US government from using them. Yesterday, that same president signed an executive order built almost entirely around their technology. So what flips a man that hard, that fast on a company he was publicly at war with? Stick with me, because once you see what this AI can actually do, you'll understand exactly why Washington panicked. Let me walk you through one of the strangest U-turns I've ever covered. First, the backstory, because you need it for any of this to land. The company is Anthropic, the makers of Claude, and earlier this year they were in an absolute knife fight with the Trump administration. The Pentagon wanted unrestricted access to their AI. Anthropic said no. They were worried it'd be used for mass surveillance and autonomous weapons. Trump did not take that well. He went on Truth Social, called them radical left and woke, and ordered every federal agency to rip their technology out. The Defense Secretary publicly accused them of arrogance and betrayal. It was brutal. As far as the White House was concerned, Anthropic was the enemy. Now hold that thought, because here's where it gets wild. In April, Anthropic announced a new model. Not Claude as you know it, something else. They call it Claude Mythos, and they did not release it to the public. They couldn't. Because Mythos has one very specific, very terrifying talent. It is frighteningly good at finding security holes in software. We're talking about an AI that can scan the code running the world's banks, power grids and hospitals, and spot the cracks faster than any human hacker alive. So now you understand that emergency meeting. The Treasury Secretary and the Fed Chair didn't send a memo. They got so spooked by what this one model could do in the wrong hands that they pulled the heads of the banking system into a room to brace for impact. A piece of software did that. So Anthropic locked it down. Mythos only went out to a tiny circle of trusted partners, big tech, banks, under a program they call Project Glasswing. The public still can't touch it. And my honest take, this is the moment the AI conversation stopped being about chatbots writing your emails and started being about national security. A model that hunts vulnerabilities isn't a productivity tool. It's a weapon, and both sides know it. Which brings us back to Trump. Suddenly the woke, radical left company he banned is sitting on the most strategically important software in the country. And he's got a problem. He can't control what he can't see. Now stay with me, because the detail buried in this order is the part almost nobody's talking about, and I'll get to it in a second. On May 21st, he was supposed to sign an executive order about exactly this. Big ceremony. Tech executives invited, and then at the last minute, he pulled it. Walked away, reportedly worried the rules would slow America down and hand the lead to China. That's the whole Trump tension in one move. Control the risk or win the race. Then yesterday, June 2nd, he signed it anyway. A watered down version. And here's that buried detail. The order lets the government review the most powerful AI models for up to 30 days before public release, to check them for national security risks. The original draft said 90 days. Tech companies screamed it was too long, so he slashed it to 30. And here's the kicker. It's voluntary. Companies don't actually have to comply at all. He signed a security order with the teeth filed off before the ink was dry. Now let me put my cards on the table, because this is the part that gets me. This is a staggering reversal. This is the same man who, on his first day in office, tore up Biden's AI safety rules, the ones asking companies to share their safety tests with the government. He called them burdensome, inimical to innovation. He killed them. And now, he signed an order that asks companies to share their models with the government before release. Same idea, same principle he torched 18 months ago. He just stamped his own name on it and called it security instead of safety. So what flipped him? 2 words. Claude Mythos. The fear of what that model represents was bigger than his hatred of regulation. When an AI can crack the world's infrastructure, even the most hands-off president in history wants to look under the hood. And the cherry on top? Anthropic, the woke radical left enemy, put out a statement praising the order, calling it an important step in strengthening America's leadership in AI. From banned to betrayal to business partners, in 3 months. You could not write it. So here's the real question, and I want your answer in the comments. Is Trump actually protecting you here? Or is he just protecting the handful of companies powerful enough to build these models and locking everyone else out? Is this national security, or is it a moat? Because here's what I think is really going on. The era of AI labs building whatever they want behind closed doors and shipping it to the public is quietly ending. Not out of idealism, because the technology got scary enough that even Washington's biggest deregulator blinked. And voluntary rarely stays voluntary for long. The next model might be the one that makes 30 days look generous. This is AI Unfiltered. I watch the news, so you don't have to. If this was useful, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll keep cutting through the noise for you 3 times a week. And remember, keep the faith.